So I've used the guide given here by Meltwater about connecting using an Ethernet cable. So that's all it is, Ethernet cable into the Raspberry Pi and then the power lead. And then I've just logged into it using PuTTY. So the main thing really is to change some of the files on, change one of the files, the command line file on the SD card, so that it gets the IP address from the Ethernet card on the laptop. Under Control Panel, Network and Internet and Network Connections, if I look at my Ethernet connection and then look at the TCP IPv4 properties, and on mine it just says that my computer's set to obtain an IP address automatically, which makes things very straightforward. So I can just cancel this, and the next thing I've done is I've just plugged in the Raspberry Pi card into my SD card reader on my computer, and I'm just going to open and have a look at the files, and these are the ones used during boot up. And so this particular file here is where we need to make some changes. So what you'll notice with mine is I've got two extra files, a command line.ethernet and a command line.homerouter, and I created those by just copying this and then just pasting it, and then delete this in a bit. So I'll just give it the name delete. And so the reason I've got these differently named files is because when I connect to my home router using the Ethernet cable, then the IP address is picked up automatically by, or is assigned by the home router, and it's a fixed address. So I don't need to make any changes to this whatsoever. Edit this particular one with Notepad, and here what I've done is I've just added this one phrase at the end. So root weight left a space IP equals 169.254.67.7. Now this is just an internal IP address which is going to work with the Ethernet port on my laptop. It doesn't have anything to do with the router. It's not a 192 address here. Rather than having to come in here and make changes every time, what I've done is just created two copies of the same file. So this particular one with home router, it has no IP address written at the end, and this other one which has got .ethernet, if I just edit that one with Notepad Plus, has just got this one line added, one phrase added to the end of it, and that should be written like that without any new line added to it. And so all I need to do now is, if I need to run it off the Ethernet, for example I'm going in to do a demonstration, then I'm just going to copy this file, and I'm just going to paste it, and it creates a copy, and this now needs to have exactly the same name as command line.txt. So I don't need to do that. I don't need to rename it as command line.txt. So all I'm going to do is delete this and delete the other one that I've created. So that's basically, you're just swapping these two files in and out and renaming them command line.txt. Okay, so now to connect it back up, all I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the file that is the command line.txt file, which is currently being used, has got the IP address at the end, and this is the easiest way for me to remember. So if I've given an IP address in that file, it means it's going to connect to the Ethernet, otherwise it's set up to connect to my home router, because the home router will provide the IP address.